Hello, people. My name is Detroit Miracle / Corey Gerard, and I'd like to welcome you all to Monster Wars. Now I have an exciting horror story to tell all of you. It is called The American House, starring Lanae Pervy. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. This story begins near a city sign that's called Detroit. It is now daytime at the end of summer, but still a very warm evening. Then the scene motion speeds through many neighborhoods until West Warren Avenue is shown near American Street. Then the motioning courses down this street until it stops at a nice brick home in the middle block, which is a few houses off of the corner. Now a black Volvo is shown pulling into a driveway. Then a lady gets out of the car. She is a very beautiful, light-skinned black woman who has long, curly blonde hair. She's now seen in a black business suit while holding a briefcase. Now, a 60-year-old woman from across the street walks over to greet her. This neighbor is a nosy, retired school teacher named Clara Dobson. Clara now says, "Hello, my name is Clara Dobson, and we haven't had a chance to meet yet." Then the younger businesswoman replies, "Hi, my name is Lanae Pervy," as they both shake hands. Lanae then says, "Well, I'm new to this neighborhood and it does seem quiet." Miss Dobson next replies, "Yes, it is at times, but we do have our share of rowdy folks too, so please stay away from them." So Lanae responds by saying, "Oh, I usually stick to myself because I'm a bit of a loner." Then Clara replies, "Well, that's good to know. And did you know the last 3 people who lived in your home?" Next, Lanae says, "No, and why do you ask?" So Clara, the elder black lady, replies, "Well, those 3 that stayed here seemed to disappear without a trace. The first one was that kind white girl named Buffy Summers, who said she came from a Sunnydale, California. The other 2 were some old guy and some younger lady, much like you. I didn't know much about them. They seemed a bit quiet too." Lanae then replies, "Well, I've been here a few days and it doesn't seem like a haunted house, but I'll keep a light on anyway." Now Lanae and Clara are shown laughing. Clara then walks back to her home and says, "Oh, Lanae, if you need a cross and holy water, you can use mine." Next, Lanae is shown opening her refrigerator inside and sees a variety of dinner selections, but she decides to go with leftover fast food, which is a Coney burger and fries. Now Lanae grabs that meal and says, "Okay, health food again." Then the scene goes outside and shows the day sky turning into night. Now Lanae's brick home is shown at dark, and she's seen looking out of her bedroom window while her room light is on. Then shortly later, Lanae is shown in her shower as the warm water comforts this businesswoman. Then suddenly that water becomes very cold. So Lanae says, "No, it's freezing." She next turns the hot water knob up, but the water is still cold. So she cuts it off. Then all of a sudden, her bathroom light shuts off. So Lanae pulls back the shower curtains and then steps out while dripping wet. She then goes to the light switch and flips it back up, and then the bathroom lights come back on. Lanae now realizes that someone turned her bathroom lights off, and it wasn't her, but her bathroom door is still locked, so she appears nervous. Then this single woman grabs her towel and dries off quickly and throws on a hanging robe. She then unlocks her door and opens it, as seen doing so. Now Lanae can see that her hall light and nearby bedroom light are off, but she's sure she kept both of them on too. So Lanae yells, "Is anybody there?" and then steps in the darkened hallway. Next, she sees the hallway light come back on, and suddenly her bathroom door rips off as an unseen force pulls her into the bathroom window. Then Lanae is shown waking up from that dream in bed. She now says, "Wow, that nightmare felt a little too real." Next, Lanae looks at the time on her screen phone, and it says 3:32 a.m. She then gets out of bed and walks over to her window and sees a long car speed by her house, which has a Christmas lighting system on it. Lanae Pervy then shakes her head and replies, "I think my eyes are playing tricks on me. No matter." Now all of a sudden, a loud knocking is heard coming from downstairs. So Lanae grabs a baseball bat and says, "Who the hell is that at this hour?" She then walks out to the hallway upstairs and turns on its light. Then Lanae walks down the stairs and sees that her front door is missing as the night air hits her face. She now appears to be in shock because someone has removed the door, including its glass iron gate. Then her grip on that bat becomes much tighter as shown. Lanae next looks across the street and sees a hooded person sitting down. So she says, "Clara, is that you? Someone stole my doors. Did you see anything?" But that person on the porch doesn't reply back. So Lanae puts on some shoes and a black sweater and then goes outside. She's also wearing a white t-shirt and green pajama pants. Now Lanae walks to her neighbor's home, but she doesn't think that's Clara sitting there because that creep on the porch is slender built with glaring red eyes. Now she is nearly at the street and now sees a candle light inside of Clara's front room because her door is open. Then Lanae steps in the street, and then that mystery guy laughs out loud. He next stands up, lifts his hood, and then Lanae sees two horns on his head. Yes, she saw that after his porch light came on. Then out of nowhere, a hearse limo appears and tries to run Lanae over. It has a strange lighting system on it. These surrounding lights shock her, and then she wakes up in her bed before being ran over in the street. Lanae then quickly gets up and goes to her bedroom window, but doesn't see any long vehicles speeding by her home this time. She next grabs her phone and sees 3:32 a.m. again. Now Lanae says, "Those weren't just nightmares I had. It's this place. I have to leave this cursed home." She then puts her clothes and shoes on in a hurry and then ponytails her blonde curly hair. Now Lanae grabs her purse and runs down the stairs. Then she leaves out of her house in an urgent way. Now, all of a sudden, that same horned demon approaches Lanae, so she sprays its eyes with pepper spray, knees it in the groin, and pushes that thing to the ground. Next, she gets in her car and then backs out very fast as shown doing so. Then Lanae drives off and turns left on Majestic Street. She is next shown saying, "I'll check into a hotel tonight and worry about this creepy stuff tomorrow." Now suddenly Lanae feels something bumping her car in the back, so she looks in her rearview mirror but doesn't see anything behind her. Then something bumps her Volvo again, so she turns around and sees that funeral hearse with the surrounding lights, but it does appear to be very, very scarier this time because the lights surrounding it are blinking. And this car didn't show up in the mirror, which makes her very uncomfortable. Now, two horned demons appear in that limo's front seat as one of them drives it. So Lanae speeds up and then turns down White Street. She is then seen saying, "I thought Clara was joking, but that house is possessed or something." Then suddenly the hearse rams Lanae's car again as a demon hangs out of his passenger side. Yes, it looks like a male demon. That demon then lights a rag in a gasoline bottle as Lanae makes a left on Diversity Street. The hearse then turns her way and the demon is shown throwing that explosive at her vehicle, but it hits the ground and blows up. Then Lanae turns to Prairie and rides down this one-way street as she heads towards Warren Avenue. Now Lanae looks back and sees that the funeral hearse is still chasing her, so she speeds up a little more. Then that demon is seen lighting another bottle inside of the limo, so Lanae looks back and then steps on her brakes, which causes that hearse to hit her, and then that fireball explodes and burns those two demons up. Next, Lanae smiles and drives away with a sizable dent on her back fender, and then turns back on Majestic, heading for Weatherby Street. Then out of nowhere, a bald-paled creature jumps in front of her car, so she runs it over while crossing Burnett Street, but this sharp-teethed monster cracks her windshield. Now Lanae stops at the corner of Majestic and Weatherby, then she makes a right in the direction of Warren Avenue. Next she looks back and sees that evil hearse again, but this time it's blasting gangster rap music that says, "Pistol grip pump on my lap." Then Lanae speeds up as this lit up limo comes for her, as shown doing so. Now Lanae looks back and sees that the hearse has vanished, so she feels relieved. Then Lanae arrives at Warren Avenue, but she sees the hearse ram into her side as she tries to turn on Warren. Next, Lanae is shown waking up in her bed and says, "What? I was still asleep? That nightmare was worse than the others." She then looks at her phone and it says 7:11 a.m. She then hurries to the window and notices the daytime setting in and replies, "Oh my, talk about your rough nights." The end. Thanks for tuning in, folks.